Good day, everyone. Welcome to Morning Sip with Red Melissa. I am Red Melissa. I am an ordained interfaith minister and spiritual life coach. SIP stands for Spirit in Practice, where we practice because practice makes progress. Yes, it does. So, how is everyone doing today? It is wonderful to be back home with you all. You see, we're back home in Studio D, let's call it. We were just on location last week at the beautiful Laguna Beach. Oh, y'all, I loved it there so much. I love it there so much. So, I hope everyone is doing well. I am getting back in the flow of things. Can I tell y'all? I slept yesterday till 1 o'clock in the afternoon. I slept till 1 o'clock. I could not believe when I woke up, it was 1 o'clock in the afternoon. My body needed it. So I gave my body what it needed, which was rest to just recalibrate from West Coast time. You know, that 3 hour difference makes a difference, y'all. So I'm feeling more and more like my East Coast time self as we go on. So I hope you all are doing well. Let me know how you're doing. So if you notice when I set up the shows, I usually have what the series is, or it'll just say new series. And so last night I was setting up Morning Sip, and I was like, what's the new series? Hmm, Nothing. I was getting nothing. So I just wrote that. I just wrote in what's the new series, right? It invited everyone to tune in to find out. And then I just let it go. So last night I set a bedtime intention for the new series, and then I couldn't fall asleep, right? So I'm just laying in bed, right? Still adjusting to the time. And I said, well, let me read my book. So I started reading my book, and wouldn't you know it, I got inspired by something that I read in the book for this week's series. So, this week's series is Being is Having. Being is Having. So, that's where we're going this week. Let's say good day to Linda. Good morning from the mountains of Colorado. Pikes Peak is glorious with a girl, fresh coat of snow. You girl, keep that snow over there. We have been experiencing high winds here in New York and lots of rain. So it's been like that, I guess, since Sunday. It rained most of the day yesterday, and it looks overcast and rainy today. So I would take rain over snow any day. So, Linda, you be careful out there with your Pikes Peak. And good day, Fee. Yes, good day. Happy Tuesday to you as well, my fellow Libra. So, we are still celebrating October for my birthday. And I got a grand finale, y'all. I got a grand finale for my October birthday month. I'll tell y'all later. So, being is having. So, let me share with you where this comes from, this inspiration. As I mentioned, I'm reading a new book, I'm in a book study, and we have been reading all of Julia Cameron's books that focus on the artist's way. So Julia Cameron has several books that are all a part of the artist's way world. And we pretty much went through all of them and decided that we would try a new author and that is Tama Keeves. I don't know if you have heard of her, Tama Keeves. She wrote a pretty popular book a couple of years ago that I'm trying to think of right now. I think it was This Time I Dance, if I'm not mistaken. So, this is one of her newer books. I think it came out this year, and it's called Learning to Trust Yourself. Learning to Trust Yourself. And the subtitle is Breaking Through the Blocks That Hold You Back. And I'm enjoying it. And as I said last night, I couldn't fall asleep. So I have some catching up to do with my reading. I said, well, let me read a little, and I'm sure that will make me sleepy and I'll go to sleep. And it did. So I opened the book to where I left off last, and the title of the chapter I'm in is My Focus is a Magic Wand. This is what she says. Two things she said that grabbed me. One, joy comes from learning how to behold your world with love. Focus creates everything you think, see, and experience. Your practice is to continuously direct your focus to see the abundance in your life right now. So I love that, and I'll tell you why. So when I was in Laguna Beach, I was staying with my dear friend Fred, and him and his wife have this amazing apartment house that is all the way up in the hills in Laguna Beach, way up, like at the top of the hills, right? And their view from their living room and kitchen is the Pacific Ocean. And they can see the sunset from their kitchen and living room. So while I was there, I was in the kitchen making a cup of tea, and I was telling Fred how much I love their kitchen. And I went on and on and on until I found myself complaining about my kitchen. And I often say, and I'm going to stop, and I made a commitment to stop saying this, but in the past, I would often say that I hate my kitchen. I don't like my kitchen. I like all the things, right? I really want to change my kitchen, all of the things, right? I don't like going in there. I don't like cooking, all the things because of the way my kitchen is. And I've been in complaint about my kitchen since we moved in, and we've been here for over 20 years now. So 20 years of complaining off and on about my kitchen. So here I am in Laguna Beach in this beautiful kitchen. It's one of those kitchens that's like on one of the HGTV shows, and they come in and they redo someone's kitchen. It's like that. And then on top of that, you have a complete wall window that outlooks into the Pacific Ocean. Come on, y'all. I love that. I love it. I love it. I love it. So then last night I'm reading this, right? Your practice is to continuously direct your focus to see the abundance in your life right now. And as soon as I read that, I thought about my kitchen. And I was like, well, why are you thinking about your kitchen? Because you do not like your kitchen, girl. Why are you thinking about your kitchen? I said, okay, let me just go on ahead. So then there's a quote by Abraham Hicks that says, the standard of success in life isn't the things, it isn't the money or the stuff. It is absolutely the amount of joy you feel. I'm going to share that again from Abraham Hicks. The standard of success in life isn't the things, it isn't the money or the stuff. It is absolutely the amount of joy you feel. So I put the book down and I started thinking about my kitchen. And I said to myself, Melissa, can you think about your kitchen from a different perspective? Can you start to feel joy with your kitchen? Can you start to feel joy when you're in your kitchen instead of feeling like yuck? That's the best way I could describe the feeling tone that I usually have when I'm in my kitchen. Yuck. Can I shift that? Can I transform that yuck to the feeling of joy? Because the feeling of joy is something that I'm very familiar with. It is something that I cultivate, something that I embrace, that which I am. I am joy. Now, if I am joy, this is a whole conversation I had with myself last night, y'all. If I am joy, then what happens when I walk in the kitchen? If I am joy, then joy will be in the kitchen. Joy will be wherever I am because I am joy. Because joy is a state of beingness. Yes? Love is a state of beingness. All of our qualities that we have made a commitment to experience, embrace, and embody for this year is a state of beingness, right? And being is having. And this came up in the reading. So I want to share a little bit with you. She says, let me find the part that I want to share because there's so much, but we only have a sip, right? So she says, we are in the business of getting, and getting. We are so busy getting that we ignore what we have. We always believe we need more. But a life of empowerment teaches us that being is having. When I'm fully present and receptive, I can experience more of life than all the money in the world could provide. It's awareness that opens the door to the candy store. I want to read one part again. We are so busy getting that we ignore what we have. We always believe we need more, but a life of empowerment teaches us that being is having. So let me be clear for myself, right? I'm not in a mode of getting. I'm not in that mode anymore in my life. Yes, there are things that I desire to have and to experience, but the mindset of getting doesn't appeal to me anymore. It did once in my life. It really did. Now in my life, what is appealing to me is being in a state of joy. Being in a state of joy. So this requires me to make a change about how I hold, how I feel, and how I show up when I'm in my kitchen. Now, you might think, oh, Red Melissa, this is so silly. You're talking about a kitchen, but apply it to anything in your life. I'm just using my kitchen as the example because it's real for me, right? So apply it. You could take out the kitchen and drop in whatever it is that you want to drop in. For me right now, it's my kitchen. And it's great practice because I have to go in my kitchen every single day, a couple of times a day, right? And so I get to practice being joy in my kitchen. I get to practice that because being is having. And at the same time, I get to focus, I get to use my imagination, I get to visualize, I get to contemplate, I get to feel in a in addition to I get to feel what I desire my kitchen to be. And so this is different for me because usually when I imagine, when I even talk about it, what I feel about it, how I want my kitchen to be, the underlining feeling, emotion that is there is I really do not like my kitchen. So that's the undercurrent. That's not helpful. What's helpful for me is to have an undercurrent of joy when I imagine, when I visualize, when I talk about my kitchen. So last night I said to myself, Melissa, when you talk about your kitchen now, when you are imagining, the first place you are going within yourself is that state of beingness that you know very well. And that is how I will hold my focus for my kitchen exactly the way it is right now. Because the other thing that I realized I was doing is I would say, either consciously or unconsciously, I would be thinking, oh, when I get the kitchen of my dreams, then I'm going to feel so happy and joyful. And then I'm going to do this and that. And then I'll really cook. And then all of those things, right? But instead, I get to hold it differently. I don't have to delay my joy when I'm in my kitchen. Why does my joy stop at the threshold of my kitchen? That don't make no sense, Melissa. That's what I told myself. And I got into this habit. I got into this habit of holding my kitchen at a distance from me instead of drawing it closer to me, drawing it into that field of joy that I cultivate and that I am. Why should that be excluded? So I said, mm-mm, girl, it ends today. It ends today. So being is having. What am I being? I am being joy. I am being joy. And what is it that I am having? I am having joy in every aspect, in every area in my life, every place that I am joy, including my kitchen, just the way it is. So that's where we're going this week. Being is having. So just bring to mind something in your life that might be like your kitchen. What is that? Name it and let's use it this week as the example for ourselves. All right? All right, y'all. Again, the book is called Learning to Trust Yourself by Tama Keeves. And I'm just getting into it. It's part of my book study book, and I'm enjoying it. So let's get into some joy news. Let me check in with y'all again. Hey, Margaretta, it's good to see you. Love the message and the earrings. Thank you, Margaretta. Thank you, girl. All right, so let's get into some joy news. So tomorrow is Wednesday, and on Wednesdays, we do something called Community Cafe. at Rockland CSL, where I am the spiritual leader. And on Wednesdays, we focus on self-care. So join us tomorrow, 7 p.m. for self-care with company. It is facilitated by one of our practitioners. Go to rocklandcsl.org for the Zoom link. And it's all about sharing. If you're caring for someone or if you've been a caregiver and you have tips that you can share with others, it's about mental health. How are you caring for yourself mentally, emotionally during this time that we're in the world? And it's about just being holding space for others as well, for them to share and to be a listening ear. So it's free and it's open to all. Go to rocklandcsl.org for the information. Also, it's right around the corner, y'all. On Thursday, I'm so excited. I will be teaching a new class. It is called Self-Mastery, Emergence of the True Self. It's an opportunity for you to deepen your relationship with the spirit in you. It is about shifting. It is about releasing. It is about overcoming any barriers that you have in your life to self-mastery. All that we need and required is already within us. We are already masters. Our higher self, the God in us, the love in us, the spirit in us knows. And sometimes there is a disconnect. Sometimes there is a alignment requirement. So the class is about that and so much more. I'm facilitating it. I love teaching. So join me. First class this Thursday. It's an 8-week class starting October 16th, this Thursday, 6:30 to 8:30. I will send you all the materials. There's nothing that you need to get. So it's not like, oh, I'm not ready. You ready? You ready. Just say yes. Being is having. So be in this class. Be in this class with me on Thursday. You can register by going to rocklandcsl.org. The cost is $240. There is a payment plan available if you need that. So don't let money be an obstacle to your self-mastery. Okay? All right. If you have any questions, you can send me a direct message and I will get back to you. So again, more information at rocklandcsl.org. And I hope to see you in class Thursday at 6:30. And the classes will be recorded. So if there's a Thursday you can't make it, no worries. It will be recorded and you can catch up. Okay? All right. I think that's all the joy news I'll share right now. Have a wonderful today. Remember, what is your example that you can use? I'm using my kitchen to practice. What can you use to practice with when we talk about our state of beingness is having? Okay? All right, y'all. So have a wonderful today. I will see you all tomorrow. Remember, we are living life in joy, connected to our yes. Connected to our yes. Peace and blessings, everybody.